Big news dropped this week that has the entire Fallout community buzzing. According to a Bloomberg report from Jason Schreier, Obsidian Entertainment is shifting focus to develop a brand new Fallout game. Josh Sawyer, the project director and lead designer behind Fallout New Vegas, is reportedly heading it up. As part of Microsoft's Xbox restructuring, they've cancelled a planned sequel to their 2025 game Avowed and moved resources toward this new Fallout title. Bethesda is apparently working with them on it. Obsidian's last Fallout game was New Vegas back in 2010. It was made in roughly 18 months with a smaller team, yet it's widely regarded as one of the best, if not the best, entries in the entire series for many fans. Why? Because Obsidian doubled down on everything that makes Fallout special: meaningful player choice, deep faction politics, reactive world building, and some of the best writing and dialogue in RPG history. Caesar's Legion felt like a real ideological threat. Mr. House was a fascinating, morally grey visionary. The NCR had bureaucracy and corruption that made them feel alive. Even the smaller side quests had layers most games don't bother with. New Vegas proved that Fallout doesn't need to be a giant open-world shooter, with Radiant quests to be incredible. It can be a tightly written, choice-driven RPG that respects your intelligence and lets your decisions actually reshape the Mojave. That's the Obsidian DNA a lot of us have been craving for over a decade. So when I first saw the news that Josh Sawyer is leading this new project, my immediate reaction was excitement. Sawyer has a very clear design philosophy. He likes systems that interact in interesting ways. He cares about player agency, and he's spoken openly about wanting to make games with strong thematic cores. New Vegas was rushed, yet it still delivered one of the most replayable RPGs ever made. Imagine what Obsidian could do with modern tools, a bigger budget, and actual development time. We could finally get a Fallout game that leans hard into the role-playing side again. Complex factions, real moral ambiguity, and consequences that stick with you for an entire playthrough. The fact that Bethesda is reportedly collaborating also gives me some hope. It means this isn't Obsidian going rogue in a corner. There's coordination happening, which could help keep the game feeling like it belongs in the same universe as Fallout 3, 4, and 76, while still having that distinct Obsidian flavor. But I'm also trying to stay realistic here because there are some legitimate reasons to be cautious. Obsidian has had a mixed run in recent years. The Outer Worlds was solid but felt smaller in scope than many hoped. Avowed released in early 2025 and got praise for its combat and world, but reportedly missed sales expectations. And just this week we learned that roughly a quarter of Obsidian's staff was laid off as part of Xbox's broader cuts. That's a lot of institutional knowledge and experience walking out the door right as they're starting something this ambitious. Making a Fallout game in 2026 is very different from making one in 2010. Expectations are higher. Technical standards are higher. Live service and always online pressures exist even for single-player titles. Scope creep is a real danger, especially for a studio that has historically struggled with it on bigger projects. There's also the history between these two studios. Former Obsidian writer Chris Avallone has publicly said that Bethesda previously blocked Obsidian from working on another Fallout game in the past. The fact that Microsoft ownership changed the equation enough for this to happen now is interesting, but it also means there's corporate politics at play that we don't fully see. So what do I actually want from this game? First and foremost, I want it to feel like a proper single-player RPG again. Not another 76-style experience, not a multiplayer-focused thing. I want deep companion stories, factions with real ideological weight, and choices that matter beyond which ending slide you get. I'd love to see them return to the West Coast or explore a new region with the same level of care they gave the Mojave. Give us something that feels lived in and reactive. Let the world change based on who we side with and how we solve problems. I also hope they lean into the things Obsidian has always done well: sharp writing, dark humor, and moral complexity. Fallout has always been at its best when it's asking uncomfortable questions about power, technology, and what it means to rebuild after the end of the world. New Vegas did that better than any other entry for a lot of people. At the same time, I hope they don't try to out Bethesda. We already have Fallout 4's settlement system and Radiant quests. Let Obsidian do what they do best instead of forcing them into a template that doesn't play to their strengths. Here's my honest overall take. I'm cautiously optimistic. This has the potential to be the best mainline Fallout since New Vegas, if the team is given the time, resources, and creative freedom to deliver on their vision. Josh Sawyer leading it is the single biggest reason for hope. The man understands what made that game special. But I'm not going to pretend the layoffs and recent performance issues don't exist. A lot depends on whether this new Fallout gets proper support, or if it becomes another rushed project born out of corporate restructuring. The good news is that Microsoft seems to be doubling down on big franchises right now. The bad news is that doubling down sometimes comes with pressure to hit certain metrics that don't always align with making the best possible RPG. We're still very early. This is reportedly in the beginning stages. A lot can change between now and whenever this thing actually releases. Probably 2029 or later if we're being realistic. So that's where I'm at right now. Excited that Obsidian is back in the Fallout universe, hopeful because of who's leading it, but keeping my expectations in check after everything we've seen from both studios in recent years. What about you? Are you excited to see Obsidian take another swing at Fallout? Or are you worried about the layoffs and recent track record? Do you want them to return to the West Coast, go somewhere completely new, or revisit a specific region? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and I read every single one. If you enjoyed this kind of discussion video, hit that like button and subscribe for more.